Are you one of those business owners who's always buying the new shiny planner, or they're downloading the latest productivity tool, or you kind of keep rewriting your to-do list over and over again? If that's you, you need to watch this video to the end. If you're constantly looking for new tools to help you, maybe it's not the tool that you need, but it's actually a reset routine that's going to help you be productive. It may feel like we're lazy or unmotivated, but I promise you, there's nothing further from the truth. It may just be that you're overloaded, overworked, and you are at your mental capacity. And honestly, no planner or tool is gonna fix that for us. So the problem may lie in our mental clutter. So if you are ever lying awake in your bed, or you're just lying there in the morning with thoughts just racing about all the things you have to do or all the things you've never gotten done, that's part of mental clutter. Or you get up and you sit in front of your computer and all you do is stare at it, wondering, where do I even start? Because my list is just so full. Or you're working all day long, constantly in front of your computer, but you just realize I'm even farther behind than when I started this morning. When our mental clutter starts to take over, it can show up in different ways. It could be extreme exhaustion or pushing us towards the edge of burning out. Now, what does this look like? It may be you have a very small fuse and you're snapping at the people around you for tiny things that shouldn't even matter. If you feel disconnected to your business, even though this is your baby, you care about this business, you want to help people, but you're just feeling this gap between you and the business. That may be you sliding closer to burnout. Or the worst one, you're always trying to get back on track. This is one I always had a problem with, and no matter what I did, I could never get back on track. So this is also edging us closer to burnout. We may think, oh, I just don't have the motivation to get things done. This is not true. It really doesn't have a connection to motivation. Sometimes it's a system and support issue. And sometimes the one thing we need is the reset routine and not another tool. So if you think you may need a reset routine, here are 3 signs that may apply to you. Number 1, you're constantly restarting with a new planner or a new tool. Raise your virtual hand if you've purchased 2 or more planners within a year. Don't worry, that was me too. So planners, even though they can be helpful, they don't reset our brain. So it doesn't get rid of the mental clutter. It only adds to the chaos. Number 2, you always feel like everything is urgent. No matter how big or small the task, it has to get done right now. If we don't have a reset routine, this eventually leads us to feel like everything is important. Everything has to get done at that moment. But what ends up happening is that this can lead to decision fatigue and also procrastination. So when you have a reset routine, this can help recenter yourself to really make decisions on what matters in your business and what's gonna move that needle forward. Number 3, you're constantly changing your plans or second guessing yourself. If you make a decision, but you're kind of feeling like, or you've made plans for a launch or a course, then you're constantly changing the plan for that and it just never gets done, that may be a sign that you need a reset routine. Sometimes pausing and reflecting can really help you keep the momentum going. Now you're probably wondering, okay, Jackie, yes, I need a reset routine because all of those apply to me. Don't worry, I understand. So we're gonna talk about a very simple reset routine that you can use right after watching this video. I like to do this at the beginning of my week, and I usually will set aside at least 30 minutes to get this reset routine going. So the first thing I do is I do a brain dump. This is taking everything I have to do for the week and getting it out on paper. The less that's swirling around up here, the better. We want to reduce that mental clutter. Then I'm going to reflect on the last week that I had. What worked that week? Can I apply it to this week? What didn't work last week? Could I adapt it or should I get rid of it? We want to make sure we're looking at both sides of the same coin so that we can spend our time with intention and getting things done. Also, take a look at your week. Do you know if your energy is going to be particularly high for that week, or is it going to be kind of on the low side? Maybe it's going to be the same as the following week. When we look at our daily energy levels and we have that foundation, we're better able to schedule the tasks at the right time. So any high energy cost tasks are best for those energy peak times. Low energy cost tasks are great for the end of those high energy moments or for the energy valleys. This is the one thing that's so important, is to pick your priorities for the week. Everyone usually says pick 3, but I really suggest keeping it from 1 to 3 priorities. If you got a particularly large priority, make that one the focus of the entire week. If you have time, you can move on to your number 2 priority and number 3 priority. But pick what's going to feel good for you to get done for that week, and don't overload yourself with 20 priorities, because remember, not everything is urgent and not everything is moving the needle in your business. You want to ask yourself the last question: what kind of support am I going to need this week? Now, we don't want to fill up our schedule and pack it, because no amount of support is probably going to help. We're gonna be right back at those signs of I need a reset routine. So what you want to think is, what can I do to support myself? Where do I need help? It could be, I'm gonna tap into my networking group. Maybe you're in a networking group that has a mastermind. You can tap into that. Maybe it's scheduling an intentional break every single day. If it's gonna be a particularly heavy week, maybe that one priority is super busy, you want to put in those intentional breaks because you are gonna need to recharge. Maybe you need this reset routine to happen again in the middle of the week. Or if you have somebody to help you, think about, how can I utilize them to support me so that I can stay on task for myself? Maybe it's asking your kids or your partner if they can do a bit more around the house. Maybe they can help make dinner, or they can clean their room if they're good listeners. But things like that, any type of support you're gonna need, you wanna make sure you know what you're gonna need support with and who you can ask and how you can delegate it. Now, the point of this reset routine is not to create this perfect routine that's, we don't want anything like that. There's no such thing as perfect, only progress. The whole point of this reset routine is to help you feel grounded and stable, which is going to help you be more productive. Now, if you're wondering, how am I gonna be able to make this stick? It's one thing to get the idea and the routine down, but sometimes doing it alone can make it a bit more challenging to have the habit stick. So that's why, yes, you can do it alone, but do you have to do it alone? No, you don't have to. Inside the Founders Club, we work on this. There's so much accountability, support, and community, because this is what makes a huge difference in bettering your productivity, is having those backup dancers. The club is all about making space for imperfection, because let's face it, nobody's perfect, we're human. And also real life. We make space for real life because that is what's happening to us. And also celebrating even the smallest wins, because just celebrating that small win can do so much for your motivation. So if you feel like your mind is way overly cluttered, or your planner is just overflowing with tasks, you got a whole bunch of colors in your calendar, or you can't even remember the last time you had real, true focus while you work, it may be time to stop pushing yourself and look at pushing the reset button instead. So join us in the Founders Club to get you support in resetting every single week. Because hey, you're done surviving. You want to thrive, and that is what we're there for. If you love this video, please like And subscribe because new videos drop every Friday at 12 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And hey, why don't you share this with a fellow business owner that you know who's going to benefit from it?